Hey, friends, welcome back to the JJ's Declutter podcast. I'm Julie.
And I'm Janis. And today we're diving into one of the trickiest categories in the entire decluttering world.
We're talking about clothing, not the socks with holes kind of clothes, not this shirt has seen better days, and honestly, so have I kind of clothes. We're talking about the emotional stuff, the clothes that live in the back of your closet, untouched, unworn, but somehow completely untouchable when it comes time to let them go.
And I want to be really clear about something right up front. Today is not a decluttering day. Yay! Nobody needs to go pull out trash bags or start sorting hangers. This episode is about understanding the why behind clothing clutter. Because once you understand why you're holding on, the actual sorting gets a whole lot easier. Think of it as the head work before the hands.
So get comfortable, grab your beverage of choice, and yes, it's completely fine if you're currently wearing something that you haven't touched in 3 years while you listen to this. We don't judge here. We just gently, lovingly ask some questions. This is part one of a five-part series, Closet Chaos to Closet Confidence. And today we're starting exactly where we should, with the why.
Here's the thing about clothes that makes them so much harder than, say, a kitchen drawer full of takeout menus. Nobody's identity is wrapped up in a takeout menu. But clothes are wearable memory. They're tied to your body, your past selves, your future hopes, and sometimes a version of you that never actually showed up.
I like to call her Fantasy Me. Fantasy Me has a complete capsule wardrobe, attends important events regularly, and has never once stood in front of a closet full of clothes thinking she has nothing to wear. Fantasy Me is very, very put together. Fantasy Me and actual me have a complicated relationship.
Fantasy me goes bike riding and owns a linen blazer for meetings she actually attends. But here's the real point. When you go to declutter a closet, you're not just sorting fabric. You're sorting identity. You're looking at who you were in that dress at your cousin's wedding, who you thought you'd become when you bought those size smaller jeans for motivation, plus they were on sale, and who you actually are right now, standing there holding a cardigan you haven't touched since a job you don't even have anymore.
And it's a lot of emotional weight for one closet to carry. It's why clothing decluttering stalls out faster than almost any other category. You start strong and you breeze through the easy stuff, the stained shirts, the broken zippers, and then you hit the wall. That wall is usually made of guilt, memory, or money. So today we're going to name that wall because once you can name something, it gets a whole lot easier to deal with it. All right, here we go. The 7 real reasons we hang on to clothes we never wear. And declutterers, I want you to count on your fingers as we go because I guarantee you're going to hit at least 3 of these, at least 3, probably more.
Reason number one is identity. This is clothing that represents who you believe yourself to be, even when your actual daily life doesn't match. Maybe it's the professional wardrobe from a career you left behind. Maybe it's the band t shirts from a version of yourself that used to go to concerts every weekend. Letting go of those clothes can feel like letting go of that identity, even when that identity may have quietly moved on without telling the clothes.
Reason number 2 is guilt. And oh, guilt is a real big one. This is the expensive sweater you bought on sale but never wore. The gift from a family member that really isn't your style, but you feel obligated to keep. The dress that you spent way too much on for one event 3 years ago. The guilt isn't really about The clothing, it's about the money or the relationship or the choice you made. But the clothes become the physical stand-in for all of that. And they just sit there silently judging you every time you open that closet door.
Reason number three is the fantasy self, and she deserves her very own spot on this list. This is the clothing for the life you wish you were living, the hiking gear for hikes you haven't taken, the little black dress for a social calendar that is currently just Tuesday nights on the couch. It's not bad to have goals, but when your closet is full of aspirational clothing instead of actual wearable today clothing, it starts working against you instead of for you.
Absolutely. Reason number four is body changes. And this one is deeply personal and deeply common. Clothing from before a pregnancy, after a pregnancy, before a health change, during a health change. Sizes come and sizes go. And clothing becomes the physical timeline of your body's history. Keeping a few pieces for genuinely sentimental reasons, like your wedding dress, things like that. It's completely okay. Keeping three full sizes of your entire wardrobe, just in case, is usually delaying a decision you already know. Somewhere deep down, you know you need to make that decision.
Reason number five is memories. This is the graduation gown, the shirt from a trip with your best friend, the sweater that still, in your mind at least, smells like someone you love. And we are never going to tell you to toss those without a second thought. This is exactly why we have our Tea and Treasures workshop, because sentimental items deserve their own slower and more thoughtful process. Clothes with real memory attached don't belong in a quick decision. They belong in a season of careful consideration, not a frantic Tuesday afternoon purge.
Reason number six is money. This is the I paid too much for this to just give it away trap. And it is one of the sneakiest reasons of all because it actually feels responsible. But here's the truth: the money is already spent. It was spent the day you bought it. Keeping the item unworn in your closet doesn't get that money back. It just adds guilt on top of the original cost, which is honestly a pretty rough deal. You've already paid for it twice, once at the register and once in guilt every time you see it hanging there.
And reason number seven is the classic, the one we hear more than any other, just in case. Just in case I lose the weight. Just in case I get invited to a black tie event. Just in case this comes back in style, though a lot of stuff is coming back in style. Just in case I need it for a costume someday. Just in case clothing is clothing you're keeping for a hypothetical future instead of your actual present. And hypothetical futures are, unfortunately, terrible at doing laundry, showing up to closets, or actually wearing anything.
There you go. 7 reasons: identity, guilt, fantasy self, body changes, memories, money, and just in case. If you found yourself nodding along to more than a couple of these, welcome to the club. You are in extremely good company, including ours.
Since we're talking about honesty today, we figured we should model it. So we're each going to share our own clothing confession. And these are real, embarrassingly real.
I'll go first. My worst offender is guilt. I, years ago, bought a beautiful white wool coat, and it was a very expensive coat. It was on an amazing sale. I think I bought like 4 coats that day. Oh my God. I only have 2 of them left. But that white one, I just love it, but I rarely wear it. It's it's really for more dressy kind of things, and whatever it is, the weather is never cold enough when we go to a really dressy event. So my white wool beautiful coat just hangs there and looks at me, and I open the door and it's like, oh, it's such a great deal. It's such a beautiful coat, but I don't wear it. So that's my offense.
And mine is, it's part memory and part of it is, it was, what if I need this? What if my kids want to wear this as a costume? So when I was in high school, I was a song leader, the ones with the pom poms that dance at the games. I had 5 uniforms and 2 sweaters that I kept. And I thought in my head that my daughters would wear them when they got to middle school. Well, you know, things don't always work out that way. I'm 5'4" and was barely over 100 pounds in high school, and my kids outgrew me by middle school. So hanging on to those uniforms for 30 plus years wasn't realistic or useful.
Right. Wow. And when we hear versions of these stories from declutterers, we hear them all the time. Wedding dresses that can't be looked at without tears, work suits from careers that have been left behind, maternity clothes. Who the youngest child of the owner of the maternity clothes is now in middle school. None of these are silly. They are all completely human. The goal of today isn't to shame any of it, it's just to help you recognize which category your closet struggles kind of fall into. Because once you can name it, you can start making real decisions instead of just standing in front of the closet feeling stuck.
That's really the shift we're going for today. Not get rid of everything, just understand why you're keeping what you're keeping. Because when you do sit down to actually declutter, and that's coming in episode 13, you'll be making decisions from clarity instead of guilt. And that makes all the difference.
It does. So let's talk mindset tools. I know. You guys hear mindset stuff all the time, but totally, this fits. We're not physically decluttering today, but we want you to start practicing some questions in your head so that when episode 13 arrives and we do the great closet purge together, you'll already have some muscle memory built up.
The first question is the most important one, and it's simple. Have I actually worn this in the last year? Through a full cycle of seasons. Not could I wear it? Not would I wear it if the right occasion came up? Have I actually in real life put this on my body and left the house in it?
Second question, if I saw this in a store today at today's price, would I buy it again? This one's a little brutal, but it's incredibly clarifying. It strips away the sunk cost of what you already paid and asks what the item is actually worth to you right now, today, as the person you actually are.
Third question. Does this fit the life I'm currently living? Not the life I'm hoping for someday, not the life I used to have, the life I'm actually living right now, this week, this season.
And fourth, especially for the sentimental pieces, is this item itself the memory? Or am I afraid that letting go of the object means letting go of the person or the moment that's attached to it? Because a graduation gown doesn't hold your graduation. You hold your graduation. That gown is just fabric that happened to be there for a really good day.
These questions aren't forcing you to get rid of things. They're about getting honest. And once you're honest with yourself about why something is still in your closet, the decision usually makes itself.
Okay. Even though today isn't a full decluttering day, we do have a small doable dose for you before we go. And it's a gentle one. No trash bags required, no decisions necessary. Here's your decluttering dozen challenge for the week.
Set a 12-minute timer. Hashtag decluttering dozen. Open your closet, and instead of pulling everything out, simply pick up 5 items. Just 5. And ask yourself one question about each one. Have I worn this during the past 12 months? That's it. You're not deciding anything yet. You're just practicing the question and noticing what comes up when you ask it.
This is exactly the kind of small doable dose we love because it takes the pressure completely off. You don't need a decision today. You just need a little honest noticing. And if you pick up those 5 items and find yourself wanting to keep going, that's wonderful. Follow that energy. But if 12 minutes and 5 items is where you stop, that is a complete win. Awareness is the whole goal this week.
So let's recap what we've covered today. We've talked about why clothes are such an emotionally loaded category, the 7 real reasons why we hold on to things we never wear, 4 mindset questions to start practicing, and a gentle decluttering dozen challenge to ease you in without overwhelming you. No trash bags, no big decisions, just some honest noticing.
And next time, my dear declutterers, we are diving in for real. Episode 13 is the Great Closet Purge. And we are bringing our Keep and Let's Go system, the flat surface scramble method, and a whole lot of encouragement because once you understand the why, which is what today was all about, the how gets so much easier. So go easy on yourself this week. Do your decluttering dozen, and we'll see you right back here for the purge.
We might even wear our blue aprons for the occasion.
Absolutely. It's basically a surgical procedure at this point. Oh, with that being said, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional. And as always, keep
decluttering. We'll get there someday, we promise. We're going to have to put it to music. Oh, how funny.